nowadays, if you look at the way society has changed, there's a huge shortfall in people with digital skills all around the world. And we have to, as organisations, understand that the value of our workforce is really going to determine the value of our organisation and company. And millennials nowadays are a very different sort of people that we would have seen maybe 20 or 30 years ago. Their expectations are different, and what they want out of their employment is very, very different. And I think all organisations need to take that on board. If you get an engaged employee who you can really is committed to the company, is passionate and believes in what they're doing, the productivities are much higher. They will give that extra famous 10% more that you want from people, and they really enjoy. And they will also extol the virtues of the organisation they work for. If you think about why people come to work, they come to work to do a good job of what their role or function is. And to do that, you've got to empower them. You've got to give them the ability to make decisions, and you've got to give them the tools to make those processes work and operate to serve the business. And so this is one of the things we find with a lot of Salesforce customers who really embrace what we do on a broad scale, is they enable the employees to automate processes where they see opportunity to be able to really create advantage for the company without having to be wholly dependent on other organisations like their IT department to make simple changes to how they run and operate their business. And those are really organisations that I see at the very forefront. When an employee is felt driven away because they can't actually get anything done and they can't change a process, that's very disenfranchising. When an employee is enabled to be able to change the business, like BP as an example, where they're actually giving the employees the tools to be able to make operational changes, that's really enhancing and very exciting. And that's a very big difference in how people work and operate. Every employee, obviously, as you say, has an individual relationship with the company, and they have personal, private things and development plans that they should be encouraged to share. But what this modern technology allows us to do is really understand the demographics of our employee base, wherever you are in the world, whatever orientation that these people happen to have. And I think a lot of this comes through in things like inclusion. How do you make sure that different groups that your employee base care about are actually included? You know, we here at Salesforce have things like Asian Force and Earth Force, which are really groups where people can come together, feel part of something bigger than the company itself, and actually contribute in ways that they wouldn't have thought possible. And we spend a lot of time as Salesforce helping our customers understand how Salesforce use Salesforce and how we've built this business, and we're more than happy to explain that to other organisations to help them change and evolve to really serve society better than we do today. It's very easy to have an email chain that actually you forward an email, you forward an email, and you forward an email. But organisations need to change and adapt. You need to collapse the hierarchies, in my view. You need to have that communication where the chief exec actually knows what's going on the floor. And modern tools that we see being used, for example, within Salesforce, our chief executive can inspect and look at what's going on and connect with people right at the ground level in the organisation. And you've also got to make the organisation feel smaller. If you're a big company of tens and hundreds of thousands of employees, how do you actually make this feel like a family environment where everybody knows and everybody cares? And so really that's what this is all about, is making places feel a little bit smaller. And these tools allow us. The other thing is people are far more willing to share as well. They are willing to put their hand up and ask questions. They are willing to point out things that are wrong, and every employee has a right and a responsibility to do that in the organisation without any fear of retribution, to change the company they care about. And we at Salesforce spend a lot of our time, as I say, investing in capabilities to allow people that freedom and flexibility to express themselves right the way up to the top of our organisation.